Okay, so to begin, you're going to need something to place everything into, and it has to be microwave friendly. So here I'm just using a bowl. The first ingredient is going to be 100% pure almond oil. The second is going to be extra virgin coconut oil. And the third is going to be 100% peppermint oil. Now for my particular hair length, since it is quite lengthy at the moment, I'm going to use 2 tablespoons of coconut oil, 1 tablespoon of almond oil, and about 7 to 8 drops of the peppermint oil. Now you can adjust these measurements based on your hair length. Once everything is together, this is what it should look like. However, as you can tell, the coconut oil is solid at room temperature, so I am going to need to place this in the microwave at around 10 seconds at a time until it all dissolves. It should look something like this when it is all nice and dissolved and warmed up. Make sure that you don't overheat it as to not burn yourself. First things first, you're going to want to wear something that you don't mind staining because this is oil, and if it gets on any fabric, it might stain. So get something, like an old shirt, or you can also place a towel over your shoulders. That will absolutely work. I just don't like to personally do that because the towel just kind of moves everywhere and it just gets in my way. And the next thing that I do is, as you can see here, I'm just combing through my hair, make sure that there aren't any knots or tangles in between, because it is going to make it a lot easier when I do start to place the oil on my hair. After I'm done getting all the knots and tangles out of my hair, I split it into 2 separate sections, so like 2 halves, a top half and a bottom half, and then I split those individual halves into 2 halves themselves. So altogether, I'm going to have 4 separate sections of hair that I'm going to be working with in order to really distribute the oil evenly and to make sure that it gets onto my entire scalp and onto every hair strand. And the way that I work the oil into my hair is that I start at the scalp and then work my way down to the ends. Currently, I use this oil treatment once a month, twice at most, and that's when I feel my ends really starting to kind of feel really dry and just my hair is really frizzy at times. That's when I'll go in with the treatment, which I find to be once or twice a month. But before, when I was styling my hair on a regular basis, I felt like I had a lot more damage. And so then, and this was like a few years ago, like 2 or 3 years ago, I was using this oil treatment then around 1 time a week. So if you are styling your hair a lot, more often than not, I would recommend once a week, if not once every other week. No more than that. I don't think it's really necessary unless you find it to be helpful for yourself. Then go ahead and do it more than once a week. The ingredients in this oil treatment are just amazing. The coconut oil is going to promote hair growth, and it'll help prevent breakage and split ends, which is a big thing for me. And it also adds moisture and softness and shine to your hair. The sweet almond oil is going to add thickness, so if you're suffering from any kind of like thinning out of the hair or anything like that, this is going to help out. And it's also going to help strengthen your hair as well as reduce fallout, which of course we all hate. And just like with coconut oil, it's also going to help add more shine. The peppermint oil is going to help give that extra boost. It's going to help regulate pH levels on your scalp in order to correct any oiliness or any dryness that may be happening. And it's also going to stimulate hair follicles and promote hair growth. So overall, very, very good oil treatment for your hair. And you want to make sure that you're adding enough oil, but not too much. So you're adding enough to completely saturate your hair, but not enough to where it's dripping oil. After I've gone ahead and distributed the oil through my entire head of hair, I go in and I combine everything together, and then I comb through my hair one last time to further evenly distribute all of the oil that just went onto my hair. And just make sure that you're using a comb for this particular part, because I did make the mistake once of using a brush, and the oil is like almost impossible to get out of a brush as opposed to a comb that you can just easily wash with soap and water. And then I'll typically keep this on a full day, if not a full day and overnight, or sometimes just overnight. It just depends on my schedule, and you can adjust it based on your schedule as well. When you are going to be doing it overnight though, make sure that you're putting something over your pillowcase so that you don't stain your pillowcase, just in case oil happens to get onto your pillow. You don't want that to not be able to get washed out. So that's just one little tip. And that is it. I will either wash it out the next morning or that evening and I'm good to go. Just make sure that you wash it out completely, which for me, for my length of hair and the amount of hair that I have, usually takes about a good 2 to 3 shampooing sessions for me to completely wash out all of the oil in my hair. Otherwise, oil will definitely get left behind and it will weigh your hair down when you go ahead and you try to style. So make sure that you completely wash it out before you go ahead and, condition and style as you normally would. So that is it. Thank you all so much for watching. I truly hope that you enjoyed this DIY. Take care, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye.